We are live.
We are live.
Happy
We are live.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everyone. How's
Happy
your Sunday
Sunday.
going?
It's going. It's going.
It's going. That's good.
Yes. Yes,
That's
it is.
Is it storming where you are? Because it was storming earlier.
Yes, it is really bad. Pretty bad, I should say. Thunderstorming,
Yeah.
which we were expecting that. It's been so nice for the last few days, so I would expect for this type of weather to give us
Yeah.
some rain. We need some rain here. We need a little rain. We need some rain for our grass. Is your grass brown? No, your grass ain't brown.
No. Our grass is
A
not
lot of
brown.
places, grass out there is brown because it's so dry.
Yeah,
No,
no, not at all.
thank goodness, thank goodness, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Your Sunday is going good?
Yeah, no complaints. Just regular Sunday.
Regular Sunday, okay.
Regular Sunday. I got my
Right.
little juices.
Oh, I got a juice tonight.
Yes, I did yesterday. I think this is ginger. I put ginger in pretty much everything, right? Because it's for inflammation. So ginger, carrots, and apples.
Juicing has definitely made a difference in my diet. I can see the difference. Definitely it's been helping me. I'm just enjoying this new journey of holistic medicine and just learning so much.
It is a lot to learn.
It is.
And it's a okay. It hold on, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure you sharing people.
Yes.
I'm just making sure share it on my end. But it's so much information to learn.
Yes,
and
it is.
You'll be surprised stuff that you even have, just because a lot of times people may think you have to go out and get all these exotic fruits and exotic stuff that you never heard of, and it's a lot of stuff that's in your cabinet.
Yes,
that if you use properly, it will help you. So yeah,
that's true.
Yes,
I've definitely learned that just from these last few months. I'm just happy to be coming back this way because I'm ready. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. I've been missing out so much for the last over a month.
Yeah.
But no one really realized when you wake up every morning and you have your all your limbs are in use and full use.
Both your eyeballs. You can plant your
Everything.
feet on the ground. You don't have to get in a wheelchair. You just have to count every single moment as a blessing. Having two eyes, don't take that for granted. Having the ability to speak and hear, don't take that for granted. It's so many things that we just kind of brush underneath the rug as a given, and it's somebody praying for what we deem as something as regular.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I know that we kind of changed a lot of the subjects because so much have happened since last week to this week. So I know that some of the subjects that I posted last week has been changed. So if you see some of the subjects being changed and you wonder why we're not talking about certain things, it's just was other things came up that we felt that was more privileged to discuss today. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you, when you wake up in the morning, when I woke up that morning and couldn't walk, literally was crawling. When my brother was saying that, I was like, wow, that sounds so scary. But when it actually happened to me, I was like, whoa, this is the scariest thing. Stopping everything. At that moment, nothing else is important. You be thinking all these different things, but nothing else is important at that moment than trying to figure out what's going on. Why am I not feeling my legs? Why am I not being able to walk? Why am I in so much pain?
Yeah.
Well, I was able to get with another doctor this week. Thank goodness. Shout out to her, to Dr. Susan. And she definitely has done some wonders for me this week. I've seen some changes just for these last few days. So I'm so grateful. So grateful. Hey,
Hey,
Sade, thanks for
hey,
joining. Hey,
Bree.
Linda, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining. We do have a lot of topics that we're going to be touching base on. And please, uh, most of the things that we talk about is allegedly, okay? So don't
Yes,
hold us
allegedly.
to
Please
it.
do not come for us.
Yeah, but we try our best to be as accurate as possible and moving forward. But one of the topics that really hit this week, and I know this has been going on for a while, but I just realized, and I shared it with you this week, Shakira, that Virginia couple was exposed, forcing their adopted 5 children into modern day slavery. I thought that was so just crazy to hear that
Mhm.
they actually had the children as what they describe as being placed in a slavery type setting, which I thought was just dehumanizing people. The
Absolutely.
children have already been mentally damaged at this point, and which is sad to say. But
Yeah,
let's just look at this clip that we have that I want to share with you, and that will shed a little bit more light on this subject, and then we can just go more into it a little bit.
okay.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Great.
Two people, 63-year-old Donald Lance and 61-year-old Jean Whitefeather, both behind bars on Tuesday, facing felony child neglect with risk of injury charges. The Kanawha County Sheriff's Office is crediting neighbors in the area for prompting the investigation.
We were very fortunate this time that when the people called, we were actually able to go out there and see what was actually happening with our eyes.
The sheriff's office says deputies responded to the scene around 5:45 Monday evening. When they got to the scene, deputies found a boy and a girl, both in their teens, trapped inside a 20 by 14-foot shed. According to court documents, the girl said her and her brother were not allowed inside the residence and were trapped out in that shed for long periods of time every day.
They continued their efforts to try to make contact with someone that could gain them access to the barn or to the residence, and they were unsuccessful. So deputies eventually had to go ahead and force entry to the barn, where they did locate a juvenile male and a juvenile female.
The sheriff's office says that deputies also found another child located inside of the house in a loft that was about 15 feet off the ground. Deputies say Lance and Whitefeather didn't show up on scene until a few hours into the investigation, where they were then taken into custody. They say all the children found were completely unsupervised and without basic living necessities.
The living conditions especially were horrible because there's no plumbing, there was no bathroom facilities inside there. They were appeared that their hygiene was just horrific. So it's all very concerning. The biggest thing was to try to get them out of that environment, and at least the top priority was to get them in some decent care.
That is sad.
Beyond sad. That's disgusting.
But you know what? I think too. I think for what it's worth, when you see a white couple, I'm just gonna be, when you see a couple with colored children, you tend to be like, okay, I'm hoping everything is okay. Vice versa. I'm sure when they see the
Yeah.
opposite, they
Yeah.
thinking in their head, I hope everything is okay. Um, but to see these children like this just makes you wonder, where's the children's parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins? They don't have nobody.
They probably don't. That's probably people like that are predators, and they tend not to have family, meaning their family don't want nothing to do with them. Oh, I haven't seen little Ray Ray or whoever in 35 years. We don't mess with Ray Ray. Ray Ray ain't right. You get what I'm saying? So they probably don't. They do these things when they know that there's nobody that's going to report them.
Yeah.
So it's not something that would be detected unless somebody is nosy and is inquiring, you know what I'm saying? And thank goodness, a lot of people, not so much when I was growing up, we had neighbors that we knew, right? But I know, like, from your era, your neighbors was pretty much like a second parent type of thing. You get what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like,
totally. Yeah.
so everybody knew everybody's business.
Yeah, true.
Everybody, it wasn't
You can
very
go to
much.
one person and they tell you everything you need to know.
Everybody, everything that happened on the block, they ain't even been outside, but they know everything. You get what I'm saying? So
Like, what's
thank
her
God
name
for those people.
in Living Single? What was her name? You ain't heard it from me?
Oh
I ain't the
yeah,
one to gossip.
yeah. Oh, that was in Living Color.
In
Yeah.
Living Color, yeah.
Yes.
I
Always
think
on
everybody
those.
has a neighbor.
Yes, everybody. So thank God that somebody was able to, you know, they get rescued, because a lot of times this stuff happens and it goes under the radar. And
Yeah.
we have spoke about this before, because our society and the world that we live in now is so camera ready. We wouldn't know if this was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, we wouldn't know what was going on in West Virginia. Let's be honest. We would not know. We wouldn't know what's going on anywhere.
Unless you heard from a friend or a family.
You had to know somebody in West Virginia that called you and say, "Girl, did you? I know you ain't hear about this, but let me tell you about what's going on." So
yeah, Mark Zuckerberg, he changed the whole game.
He did. But it's not just it. Let's give credit when credit was due. Okay, we had MySpace. Okay, we had Tag.
Oh, that's true. You did.
Okay, we had some.
But okay, let's talk about that for a minute. But MySpace, I don't remember this kind of exposure on MySpace.
Well,
I remember
MySpace,
people just trying to get with each other.
Yeah, but MySpace was more so, from what I remember when I was a kid. It was a platform that you made your little page with your background, but you could say little stuff on there. Like you can. But I don't think it just started with Facebook per se, but Facebook was a big platform, Twitter, big platform, Instagram, big platform. So, it's unfortunate. It's so many kids that need to be adopted, right? So many kids that need love. So you would hope that the person that's adopting them have good intentions, but that's not always the case. So
not always the case. Yeah,
not
that's
always
sad.
the case.
It's like that. That's so true. That's so true.
Hey,
thank you so much, Jasmine. Thank you so much, Jasmine. Thanks, sis. Thanks for joining.
Let's see. Brianna said, well, if they are adopted, then they probably don't have any family. Exactly. Well, sometimes they ran out of aunts and uncles that's going to be able to take them in. So it's, the last resort is to,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Let's see. What Brianna also said, what's sad is some children live in this situation or similar with their biological parents.
Oh,
yes,
you hit it. You hit it right there. That's so
that's
true.
That's another word. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. Now that's real sad. That's real sad. Well, we're just gonna send out a prayer to those children. I'm sure they're getting the care and the things that they need at this point.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Absolutely.
Our next subject.
Yes.
Now this can go either way. This can go either way. I don't see her.
I don't either. Okay.
Should schools introduce the Bible?
I heard about this. I can't stand. Let's see. How can I put this and not get canceled? I don't forget it. The way the government picks and chooses when it wants to be involved with God and when it does not want to be is mind-blowing for me.
Yeah, true.
You don't want to be involved with God when it comes to guns. You get what I'm saying? Killing people with the gun. That has they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But now you want to forcefully, now don't get me wrong, I'm a devout Christian. Like I love the Lord. I accepted Jesus Christ. I'm down. Okay. But I do not want to force my religion on anybody. I'm trying to get into heaven. That's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about nobody else. And I feel as though that religion should be taught at home. This is not something that should be introduced in school because everybody does not have the same religion. So now you make other students feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I agree. Welcome, Tiana.
Hey, y'all.
I'm glad you are back with us.
Yes.
Glad you're back with us. Yes, that's true. Sade hit it on the nose.
She said, no, school and religion are separate things. Jasmine, excuse me, Jasmine. Jasmine said, those are the ones that are taken advantage of, and it's so sad. Not everyone is capable of caring for children. Yes, exactly. Everybody can't be a parent. Anybody can be a mama, okay?
Yeah.
But everybody cannot be a parent, a parental. That's just
True.
not, yeah. So,
True. True.
but as far the Bible article is from Oklahoma, I believe, right? Oklahoma or Ohio.
Yes, I want to play a little clipping of that.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, Sade said schools and religions are separate things, which is
Yes.
so true. But for some reason nowadays they're trying to,
They pick and choose when they
yeah.
want to be down with Jesus and them. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's very irritating and it's insulting because
She
it's
said
like
it's
what
insulting.
is it's like where does your angle? You want to
Yeah.
teach. Here's the thing. You want to teach about, and I hate to go back to where we were last week. You want to teach my child about them, them, don't non-binary, gender roles. You want to teach them all this stuff, but then you didn't want religion nowhere a part of it. But how is that aligned? That's not in the same realm of the Bible. So I don't understand. Maybe that state ain't doing the gender role thing.
Yeah.
But you have to pick a side. Period.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, let's see this clip uh, about what they're saying about the gender.
Louisiana mandating that the 10 Commandments be displayed in every public school classroom across the state. Trump writing on social media that he loves the 10 Commandments and that it might be a first step in the revival of religion in the country. Now, this may please some religious conservatives, but the ACLU is promising a lawsuit. Hasn't the Supreme Court already said that this type of display is unconstitutional?
There have been similar cases where the court has considered this unconstitutional. And now, even before this bill was signed into law, there are already lawsuits that are already ready to go and are now taking shape. Now, even if the court does decide in future lawsuits that this is unconstitutional, I don't think it really matters for Republicans. It's still excellent fodder for Republicans, particularly former President Trump on the campaign trail. It certainly helps him with evangelical votes. And, you see the opponents are arguing that this erodes the line between the separation of church and state. But proponents of this law are also arguing that these are good morals all around. But you look at this case stepping back, and it is fairly controversial. It's actually mandating that all public schools from K to 12 plus public universities must display a poster-sized list of the 10 Commandments. So, while this likely will go through lawsuits over the next few years, it does bring up these questions of the separation of church and state in Louisiana. And that's why I think Republicans are arguing that even though this might be overreaching, depending on how the courts see it, that this could still help them on the campaign trail. And this can feed into what a lot of evangelical Christians would be hoping for in seeing the separation of church and state.
There you have it. Separation of church and state.
Yeah, no. And don't get me wrong. Should the children that want to learn the 10 Commandments, yes, go ask your parents.
Yeah, but what was that going to say about the atheists, the people that don't even
exactly
want their children?
There's so many people that don't practice Christianity. That's not a part of their life. And who's to say who's right, who's wrong? Religious is a belief. I believe a certain way, you believe a certain way. Either way, we don't know what's right until that day comes and we see what happens. To be honest, then that's just the God's honest truth. You have your faith, you believe in what you believe in, and I'm not going to force my belief on someone else. I'm just not.
Right.
But Brianna said, and there are so many religious beliefs. How can you incorporate all of that without bias in a school day? And then Jasmine said, there's an echo on my end. Oh, Lord, I got an echo.
Is there echo?
Hello?
Is there echo? Where is
know.
it coming from?
I don't know. Let me know if you still hear it, Jasmine. If it's on my
please.
end.
Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah. Tiana, what do you think about the 10 Commandments being in the school?
Can't you hear us?
Can you hear us, T?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, T?
Can you hear us?
I don't know if she can hear. She can't
hear us. We can't hear you.
I can't hear him, but I can see him.
She said
Oh, it must be something on maybe she's gonna come back in. Okay.
Yeah. And the echo is gone. She said, "No, I don't hear it now." Thank you, Jasmine, for your feedback.
Okay.
Jasmine also said, "Do you send children to school or an education, not a religious lesson? They have religious schooling for that. Yeah, send them to if you want your child. Like I remember I went to Christ Temple right on JFK, and it was a Christian school, and that's what that's what you wanted me to get involved in, and I learned a lot. We had chapel 3 times a week, I want to say, or 2 times a week.
Yeah.
We sung in the choir. We had a little step. All
Do
of
you
that.
remember
So
anything that you was taught?
I just a little bit, just a little bit, but it was a great experience. I didn't stay there for the whole duration of it because it went from kindergarten to 12th grade, if I'm not mistaken. But I wasn't there for the whole duration. I was there only for I think 7th grade. 7th grade I was there. Yep.
And then you was like begging, "Mom, please, I want to go to a regular, I don't want to go to a public school."
Yeah.
She was just, oh my God.
But I still got my Jesus input in from church that I had to attend with my grandmother.
Your Jesus juice.
Yes, it was not optional. But I just don't think we should be forcing it on any kid or anybody. Why are you trying to force it down? And to me, I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but what's the angle? What is the purpose? It has to be a purpose to this. You're not just doing this because you feel this is right. I feel like it's something to this, in my opinion.
True. I'm just gonna give credit to the heal.com, who was responsible for giving us that information. So we're going to move on to our next topic. Now, this topic is like a lot of people are talking. We're wondering, just curious. 2 and 2 is not adding up, I must say. And many of you may agree that it's not adding up. Wendy Williams has 55 million in the bank. She had 55 million in the bank, and now the Guardian states she is broke.
Oh wow.
They took that lady money. Okay.
And then she just sold her condo in New York a few months ago.
I'm gonna give you the rundown. Allegedly. She found out her husband was cheating. She probably already knew, but when the baby thing came into play, that just ripped everything out of the place. Okay.
Sure.
Then they was going through their divorce. She had a mental breakdown along with all her health stuff.
Right.
And it just went haywire. They said, "Oh, here's our golden ticket. Let's say she cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and take away her rights. And let's make it a guardianship over her." And the fact that it's not her family is I don't understand how that is even a thing.
Right.
Now, let's take it to Britney Spears and her dad. Her dad was, even though he was doing whatever he was doing, allegedly, or whatever, it was still her father. Why, if all the family that she had around her and they're begging to be the guardian of her, and it's somebody random, it's not adding up for me. It's not.
It's
and as
crazy.
close as she was to her family, you think that's something that she wanted? I don't think so.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I don't think so either. But I don't think she's broke either. Let's be clear about that. And that's just my assessment. $55 million.
I think they took her money. That bank account is probably empty. Okay? It's probably on red. I believe that could be a possibility.
Yeah, that's sad.
Very sad.
Yeah, I just want to show a short clipping of Wendy Williams and, what's being said right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to sit down again.
She was put in front of a judge and given a guardian. That was when they took her away from us.
I have no money. And I'm going to tell you something. If it happens to me, it could happen to you.
All right, welcome back to GMA3. Some dramatic scenes from the new Lifetime documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? Executive produced by Wendy Williams herself. The documentary shined a light over not just her health, but her financial guardianship.
Williams is under court-appointed financial guardianship after her bank denied her access to her account, claiming she was incapacitated. Williams is refuting the claim, and here to break it down for us in our legal side of it called Better Call Brian is Brian Buckmeyer himself. We are so grateful to have you here with us because everyone is talking about this right now.
Yeah, this is a wild one, definitely for me as well.
So it wasn't a doctor, but a financial advisor who reported her, quote, incapacitated. So without a medical diagnosis, how is this legal?
So many steps here. So let's kind of start from the beginning. Banks have the ability to restrict your access to your own money. Think about you travel abroad and you use your card and you're like, we didn't know that DeMarco was in Spain. And then they shut down your account thinking it's fraudulent. Usually just make a phone call, they open it back up. But you got to check the fine print in your bank agreements because they can actually restrict access to your money if they believe that you're making fraudulent transactions, if they think that there's some sort of unsound mind or the person's incapacitated. From there, they can go and petition to the bank, just like someone who's living with you, just like yourself can, or someone who has the control of your assets to say, I think this person isn't making the right decisions with their money, or they're being influenced unjustly or unduly by someone else. Let's go to the probate court or go to court and say, you know what, let's put evidence before the judge and the court and see whether or not a guardian needs to be appointed.
She executive produced this, though. It's kind of confusing to see it all. How does she get access to her money? What does she have to prove? Because, I mean, you do need money to live.
Yeah. So there's supposed to be an annual report whenever there's a guardianship. In New York, it's typically May, but it's anytime a person petitions or the court finds it just to say, hey, let's review this. And there should be evidence that's presented to the court. And you might have heard, like in a criminal case, you've got to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. It's much lower in these types of court. It's called clear and convincing evidence, something that just gives you a firm belief that this person has the ability to handle their own finances. And to your point, she's executive producing this two-part documentary. So this is definitely gonna be part of the argument to say, if she can do this, why can't she handle her finances as well as her health? Now, if she can convince the judge, then a guardian will either pull back their responsibilities or just be eliminated altogether, and she would be able to handle her own finances and her health.
And the clip that we ran at the top of the segment, she said if it could happen to her, it could happen to any of us. How can we protect ourselves and our finances? You think about it, when something happens to a family member, of course, we all hope that we live a healthy life, but things can happen. But when something happens, the family starts fighting because no one had a will in place, et cetera.
Yeah. So real quick, I would say check the fine print to your bank agreement. See whether or not they can petition for a guardianship if they see any kind of fraudulent or unsound mind issues, as Wells Fargo said here. There's also what's called trust. You can put in your assets or your properties in a trust where you're appointing someone to take care of those things so the court won't step in, or a power of attorney. There's also, which we discussed before this, called an advanced medical directive. Now, my mother, before she was diagnosed with cancer, we had to have a very difficult conversation of, Mom, you're getting up there in age. What do you want me to do if you're incapacitated? And I tell most people, fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. It's difficult to have those conversations. I've written both my mother's will, and next week, because my father just buried his father in Grenada, I'm sitting down to write his will for the first time. He's finally agreeing to do that. But it's hard to look at your parent and say, what do you want me to do if you can't make medical decisions? My mom and I disagree. I say I will fight to the death, and she says, no, at a certain point, you've got to stop. And that conversation is very difficult, but I bet you the conversation I had with my mother and I'm about to have with my father is a lot easier than the conversation that Wendy Williams and her family are having now. So I would say get out there and be proactive.
And better to have it in writing.
Exactly.
All right, Brian.
Thank you so much. Always appreciate your insight.
Yeah, that was enlightening. I can tell you that.
Yes.
And it definitely opened my eyes a little bit more. You know, having a will is one thing, but just going a little bit more into detail about the situation is extremely imperative and it's important, especially the older you get. You have children, you have family, you know,
because a lot of the age. It doesn't even matter the age, because
no, but I'm saying the older you get, it's even that much more important because your time is maybe shortened.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
any age for sure.
Any age, because I don't believe Wendy Williams is what in her, is she 60 yet?
Yes. What'd you say, Tiana?
I didn't think she was 60 yet.
Who is that?
Wendy Williams. She's not 60 yet.
Yeah,
Is she?
she's 60. We're about the same age.
Okay, okay. But
Not
still,
that I
you know,
look it, but yes, I am.
but I feel like
don't look it.
I feel like when you have period, if you have kids, if you don't, like, if you just should have something written out somewhere and
Yeah.
have directions to say to your next of kin, this is where my stuff is at. This is, you know, it, because it's unfortunate for her to have to go through this, and she has family. This would be different if she did not have no family around her, but she has family fighting
Right.
to help her, and they're refusing to, like, it's something is up. Something's up.
That's true.
And
That's
we
true.
don't know what it is, but something ain't right.
Right. That's true. That's true. I agree.
Yeah.
Now, Jasmine.
Jasmine said that can happen to anyone who doesn't estate plan, rich or poor.
Yep.
They can
that's
legally
true.
take any money or property that you have because the court said your money is now mine because you're deemed incapable. The same with children who get removed from their homes. There's a 2-page document that you file to say what happens to your children, who cares for them, and what happens to them if you're deemed incapable. The only way to protect yourself is to have a trust.
That's so true.
And she said a will doesn't necessarily cover it. You need to have a will and a trust. The name on the document for your children is child custody power of attorney.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared on all ends, because
you definitely do.
Like that should not, and you do have to, like he said, have those difficult conversations with people. This is what I want. So you know, you're not surprised, or, you know, and have it written out so they're not surprised and they can't go against what you already said.
Right.
So.
Right. That's true. That's true. I
Yeah.
agree. Very sensitive subject. Sorry they are going through this.
Yeah, that's so
hoping
sad.
that the outcome is better. I'm just hoping, you know, for some reason I keep thinking in my head that Wendy is going to come back and do, you know, she's going to be back to her old
think
self.
if she gets better, she needs to stay far away from the media. She needs to, if she's going to get better, if she's going to get better, huh?
I don't think she's going to stay far away from the media.
But that's what I didn't say she would. I'm saying she needs to, because some people with the media, it just doesn't work out for them.
Right.
Because they're going to constantly attack. And if you don't have strong skin, you can even see it in the documentary. Everything with it is, she was very rattled
right,
about everything. So it was, I don't know, it's just very, very sad to see.
Right. It is. Okay. It is
very sad to see.
So we're going to change. We're going to change gears.
Okay.
We're going to change gears a bit. The next subject that we're going to talk about, of course, a lot of people are saying that perhaps maybe we may need to consider thinking about a new president.
Oh gosh, now
who won the presidential election debate? President Biden.
Nobody won.
Trump.
I know who didn't win. The USA. That's who did not win. That was a mockery. It was a joke. A complete joke. Biden looked like he needed oxygen, and that he could barely get his words across. He was incoherent on some things. Some things he was, you know, and then Trump was just lying. Allegedly.
Right.
Well, they fact checked him. I don't have to say. They fact checked him. He was lying. It was several fact checks that said the man lied across the whole entire debate. But it's just the fact.
So you don't think Trump or Biden won?
No, we lost. The USA is losing. Put them back in the bag and let's shuffle it around and get somebody else. Because at this point, what are we doing now? It's like, what is the better of the two? I'm going to pick Biden. If I would say who's the better of the two, But both of them, they're just, it's just, if this is what it come to as far as our presidency, it's just sad. This is sad. Trump talked about everything underneath the sun except for what he was being asked. They had to keep asking. I always say this one, asking him. The question was, because he was ranting on something else, he wouldn't answer, and this was a very important question because they asked him about January 6th, and will you accept the outcome and not, get crazy, basically. And he refused to answer because previously he said, and this is allegedly, but I'm pretty sure he said this because I heard him say this, but I'm going to say allegedly, it's going to be a bloodbath if he don't win in a lack of.
That's what he said.
Yes, that's what, those were his words, and he refused to say that he was going to accept it if it's not him. So the fact of the matter is, it's sad to see both of them because I not to say anything bad about Biden, but I feel as though that I won't say he's incoherent. Because at the end of the day, he's 80-something years old, you guys. Y'all expecting this man to be out here doing backflips.
But let's say this. They said he had a cold. They said he wasn't feeling well, right? Well, come on. Listen,
I did see that they cleaned that up. They threw that in there.
Doesn't do something right the first time, does that mean that everybody just kicks their back out?
Nah, but he's been incoherent for the whole entire presidency. I'm not being funny. Every time he does a speech, every time he's fought. I don't want to laugh because I don't want to make fun.
Don't laugh.
I'm not going to laugh. I'm being dead set. I'm being totally honest. And this is what I'm seeing. He's incoherent at points when he's doing his speeches, and he's, not as bad as, what was that? Mick Romney? No, not Mick Romney. What's the one? The older one.
I know
that was just standing there. They were talking to him. He just blanked out. He ain't that bad, okay? Biden ain't there. But you can definitely tell that he's, it's getting to him, right? Because I can't even imagine trying to be the president of the United States at mid-age. You get what I'm saying? Up there in age, you gotta worry about your health, you gotta worry about your heart. But I feel as though sometimes he'd be trying to push it, get on a bike. So you shouldn't be getting on no bike. Why are you on a bike? Get off the bike, Biden. So for me, I feel as though that nobody won. Now, do I feel that Biden had better points? Yes and no, because I feel like the purpose of that debate was to push the person that did not know who to vote for to either side. They were both bickering and made no points. They were going back and forth. Trump wasn't answering nothing. Biden was answering stuff, but then he would throw Trump and his convictions and felonies or whatever. I mean, all of that. And I get it. Throw that in there because Trump would do it to you. But it's just I don't feel like nobody won. Right. I didn't hear any plans for 2025 or I didn't hear it. And then what did he say? Black jobs? What's a black job? Okay. I'm trying to figure that out. What's a black? Am I currently in a black job? I'm trying to understand if I in the right field.
Well, that to me, that was a little on the racist side.
It was very racist. The context around it. He said the immigrants, you are allowing millions of immigrants to come in here, and they are taking the black jobs. That is what he said. That is what he said.
Real.
And from the standpoint of just observation, when an immigrant comes over to our country, typically, if they're not legal, they are getting jobs that are underneath the table that is not paying much. That's just being honest. So you're saying that these are the black jobs.
They're doing jobs that most people don't want.
They don't want. But Trump said that's our role, and we should be very mad. We should be on fire. So I feel as though all hands on deck. Please go out and vote. Regardless if I wouldn't care if Biden was up there asleep. I'm still going to vote for Biden because I don't want Trump in office. I don't care.
Okay, wait a minute. So wait a minute. Regardless of Biden, okay, so is it because Biden has 8 years in the White House as vice president, 4 years as president and also over 30 some years as a senator. So he's well experienced. Let's just
That
say
has
that.
nothing to do with why I said what I said.
Okay,
I don't want Trump.
So is it because Trump is wanting to be a dictator?
I would rather have
Roe versus
Boosie
Wade
or T.I. or the Simpsons, one of the Simpsons as a president. I don't want
I am not
Trump.
a Trump supporter at all.
I am not, because it's not just about his antics, it's about behind the antics. Like, like they don't talk about publicly a lot about how he put that bounty on them young boys, the Central Park 5, and wanted them to be dead. They wanted them to get the electric chair. That's not cool. You're not even in the case. You don't know nothing about the case, but this is what you're going around and saying. Like, it's certain things, the stuff he did to black people, as far as in when he was doing housing, and no, I'm good. Okay, I'm totally good. If Biden could have went up there, he could have played a flute, his teeth could have fell out. I'm still voting for Biden. And that's it on that. Okay, because I would rather have that than Trump, because Trump ain't playing. But the only thing that I will say, Trump is going, if he don't win, stay in the house. That's all I got. Because it is not going to be good to go outside.
Yeah.
So
at all.
When you say go outside, are you thinking that it's going to be violence?
It will be, knock on wood, but I think it will be January 6 times 10.
Really?
Yeah.
He said this time. Now, before he said, I forgot his verbatim words, but it wasn't saying anything about blood. This time he said it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep, sure did.
He gave the bat signal. He told them, if I don't win, be ready. Yep. So I'm standing, I'm going to go out and vote real early in the morning. And then when they announce everything, I'm staying in the house. I may keep my baby home from school. It's not going to be good. Okay. Yeah. Because that man is crazy. Like, Biden is just sleepy. He ain't crazy. He just a little sleepy. I mean, he older, you guys.
You think November is going to be really violent if?
Oh yes, yeah. I don't want to go outside. I'm not going to the amusement parks.
Trump has said them numerous times that if he doesn't win, it's going to be.
So the National Guards is just going to come in and shut everything down. I mean, I don't believe that American people are ready to go back to the 30s and 40s, because these young generations now, the young generation that we are looking at now, they're not having.
No, they're not playing.
They're not going to be marching like Martin Luther King, marching peace, love, and happiness. They're not with that.
No,
they're the
not
total
at all.
opposite.
Yeah, not at all.
So some people think that, you go out and you kill, but you got to remember there's somebody else that can do the same thing to you and your family.
Exactly.
It goes both ways.
Generation ain't going for that.
Huh?
I said this generation ain't going for that, but he is who he is. And when somebody show you who they are the first time, you believe them. He showed us his first presidency. So why would we want to go back? Like, I don't, and my thing is that, from what I read, I'm not a politically inclined individual. I ain't following everything. As my husband would say, I don't watch the news because I don't. But I watch a little bit when he watching it.
You watch enough.
I watch enough, okay, from my standpoint. But the administration of now is setting up the presidency for next term. So, sir, you over here boasting about what you did for all these people when you're riding off the coattail of what Obama fixed. Okay.
Right.
So when you get into this, if you do get elected, you'll be riding on what Biden set up for you.
But what about the immigrants and them coming over and being violent? There's just so much going on right now with the open borders.
We need to pray, and I understand that there's something that needs to be done. But we have people that's already here that's violent, that we're not worried about, that we're not doing nothing about. Philadelphia, hello, that needs to get under control. It's so many areas that needs to be under control. You worry about these people and majority of these people, now don't get me wrong, there's people over here coming from, different countries and they're running to come kill somebody and all that. But majority of these people are running because of what they're dealing with in their country. Yep, and to think they're coming.
No one here in America want to get hurt behind it. You know what I mean?
No, of course not. But you can be walking down the street in a certain area in from a standpoint of another American to another American, and they kill you. If that's what is going to happen, it's going to happen. That's how I look at life. Yes, we need to fix the borders, so on and so forth. But I don't think icing people out and making it seem demonizing these people. Everybody ain't a killer, okay?
Yeah. Let's hear from Tiana. Tiana, what's your point of view?
I should watch the news more, but I don't.
That's not a bad thing.
From my dad, he tells it all to me. But I think our country is doomed a little bit because I feel like Biden is just older. He needs to take a rest and take a back seat. And Trump is just, for lack of better words, not fit for the role anymore. But I feel like, I don't know. America needs to get it together.
Well,
Because
see, out of the two,
somebody else needs to take a step up to the plate and think about wanting to run because we're kind of Biden. I mean, I'd vote anybody over Trump over all day, every day. I'd vote for Elmo, the whole Sesame Street cast. Before
oh my God, really?
Yes. I don't like that man. I don't care how much stimulus checks he gave us. I don't like that man.
Yeah. Maybe is it the dictatorship of what he's saying that he wants to do, and also the Project 2025
for the people. Like, I don't believe he's for anyone but himself.
Yeah, sickening, right? Sickening to think that out of all the 341 plus million people in America, these are our choices.
This is it.
And I don't even know what. Well, we have Kamala Harris, of course. Right.
That's the T. That's the T. My husband, he said the reason why they want Trump to run or whoever to run, because if something happened to Biden, God forbid,
Kamala Harris is going to step up.
The first black woman president, they don't want that. They would rather see Elmo in there. So they want Trump to win, and that's why they it seemed like maybe the Republicans that wouldn't have backed him because of all the shenanigans, but they're like, listen, the way he blinking and look like he's sleeping, he incoherent, but don't get me wrong, I think it wasn't that the Biden wasn't that bad. It sounded like can't nobody say he ain't sound like he needed oxygen, okay? But what he was saying, and he was landing some points, and he just seemed it's either he was very confused or very frustrated. It might have been a little bit of both. But they don't want no woman president, especially not no black one.
Right.
So I feel as though that's another push. Like, if even for people they may not even want to vote for Trump, but because they don't want a black woman, they will vote for Trump because of the possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to play this clip right now. And this actually is coming from CBS News, Face the Nation with Miss Margaret.
Washington, and this week on Face the Nation, Democrats defend President Biden after a disastrous debate. And a new CBS poll reveals whether it changed the way voters see the candidates now. President Biden's team sought out Thursday's debate to draw a contrast with Donald Trump and hoped it would soothe concerns about the incumbent's age and stamina. Instead, after a meandering, frequently hard to follow performance, not even Mr. Biden's closest supporters could ignore the obvious.
It was a slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point.
That was strike one. If this were a ball game, he's got two more swings.
The president went on damage control.
When you get knocked down, you get back up.
And spent the weekend at fundraisers. Critics outside some of those events and the nation's leading newspapers called for him to step aside. Mr. Biden said he's staying in the race, but some voters are voicing doubt.
I'm not sure he's.
Sorry about that. Technical problems here. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
While that's trying to figure itself out. Sorry about that.
We do have some comments.
We have a comment.
Uh-huh.
Now, the Biden, you see how Biden was the next day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Okay.
but that's the thing. Like at the beginning of the debate, he was kind of shaky. But then when Trump brought off Biden's son, you can see the fire lit up his booty, because then he started being a little bit more boisterous and clear. And then it kind of faded a little bit. So it was like up and down, up and down. So yeah, but I'll take anybody except for Trump. But we do got some comments. Miss Linda said at least Biden didn't lie. Exactly. He didn't lie. He didn't lie, right, Ma? You heard
Biden?
Biden.
Yeah, Biden for the most part, for me, I think he was speaking the truth. The only thing with Trump for me is he wasn't answering the questions. They were asking questions and he was just beating around the bush, as they say. So he wasn't giving direct answers. So that is kind of like hurt him. But because he was so forthcoming and very direct with his answer and standing firm, Biden had that soft, mellow voice that sounded a little timid.
But let's take this, right? New Yorker, right? Trump is a New Yorker. Yeah. Biden, Scranton, PA. Now, I've never been to Scranton, and I don't know if they milk cows over there or what's going on. If anybody in my comment, please let me know about Scranton. They may have a slower pace. New York is fast paced, fast.
Yeah, but Biden been in Washington, D.C. majority of his life.
But I'm not. Listen, I'm just
in Delaware.
But listen, you could be from down south and still have that southern drawl. No matter where you go, and been out of down south for 20 years, you still sound
should rub off. At some point, something should rub off. You know, that East Coast
maybe
flag
not the
should have rubbed off.
It may not have sped them up. Ms. Linda said Biden came back the next day, plus they raised $14 million. Now that's good.
Okay.
Now that's
good.
That's really good.
Wow.
Ms. Linda also said, anytime America allows a convicted felon run for the highest office, we are in a sad state. Yeah, listen, you can be truly the statement of you can be anything in the world is definitely true. You can be a convicted felon and still run for president.
Yeah. So and tomorrow, the Supreme Court is going to be ruling whether or not Trump charges may be dropped. Things may not be. It may be to his favor, put it that way.
Oh, Lord.
So, tomorrow, the Supreme Court will be voting. Or at least they may have voted already, but they're going to publicize it. We should know by tomorrow what that outcome is going to be, whether they're going to overturn.
Ms. Linda said when he quotes, now I can't stand this word. The stats. When he quotes the stats, he gets confused. And you can tell, and I mean, I'm not being funny, but Trump has said that Biden studied so hard he confused himself because he was running them numbers off, baby. And I don't know if he understood how fast he was going, but that's when he started tricking himself up a little bit because he was trying to run the stats off. So yeah. No one black wants to pick tomatoes. Oh, speaking of blacks, there was supposed to be. My husband also told me there was supposed to be a rally for Trump that was supposed to be blacks for Trump, supposed to be all the black people that's voting for Trump, and it wasn't no black people there except for a couple white. It was white people there with shirts that said blacks for Trump. So yeah, I guess they said, nah, you want us to pick cotton, we ain't with it. She also said they don't backtalk you. They are great workers. Listen, I'm telling you, he wants to take us all the way back.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining.
Yes, he said Biden is going to win. Yes, please go out and vote. Please, please, please. I'm going to vote early as I can. And like I said, anybody could have been on the ballot. If Trump was on the other side, I'm not for it. So, Miss Linda said Nancy Pelosi is older, but she is on top of her game. She is an original gangster. Yeah, she be waiting for Trump to say something. She be having it in the host is like, you want some? Like, she don't play. She's funny. She is funny. And he kept trying to blame her. I don't know if you remember in the debate that it was her fault that January 6th got out of hand because he offered to do National Guards and she said, nah. Whatever.
He tried to blame that. I was like, he is But let me just say this. Let's be honest. For the last 8 years, 4 years, 5, 6 years that he has been in office for the 4 and then now trying to be reelected, it has not been a dull moment.
No, no, not at all.
It has not been a dull moment.
Not at
with
all.
him.
Not at all. Jasmine said crime and homicides in Philadelphia are down 37% from last year. All right, Philly. Come through,
37%. What?
All right.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I know that news is the new
I
mayor.
know our mayor, she's been doing a lot to like clean up the community.
Oh, I love.
Yeah, she ain't playing no games. I be seeing her on the news.
She ain't been playing at all.
Shout out to the mayor of Philly.
Yes.
Yes, shout out.
She said
she's firm.
She is. Let's see.
Huh?
She also said, I feel like what we want doesn't matter. There's a plan in action and it's going to play out however way they want it to.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Uncle Mike said the plan is to have Biden get reelected, then he will step down for Kamala by default.
You think that's really the plan? I think Biden just want to go.
My dad's been saying this for a while.
I think he want to go
this for a while.
I think he's going to go his full 4 if he's reelected.
I think he's going to go his.
I don't think he want to turn it over. I just think his pride. I don't think he would want that to be part of his legacy.
He would rather go out and just be like, if something medically is different, but just for him to be like, all right, here's the baton. I don't think that's. Me being honest, I don't hear nothing from her. I don't know nothing about her. I don't. Jasmine said Trump's former VP said he doesn't even have his vote for his term. That speaks volumes. Yes.
Wow.
He definitely said that. Mike, is it Pence? Was it Pence? Was the vice president for Trump?
I think they said that Trump already picked who he wants to be his running mate. I think I've heard that.
But his prior one, it was Pence, right?
Yes.
He ain't voting for him. He ain't got his vote. So
but is Trump going to be able to even vote being a felon? And he is in New York. That's certain states, if you're a felon, they don't allow you to even vote.
Oh, wow. Can you vote for yourself?
Yeah, when you're a citizen, you can vote for yourself. If he's running, he has a right to vote.
Oh, wow. I learned something new.
Yeah, they go in there and you see them walking in and voting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. Uncle Mike said all the debate did was let the American people know Trump doesn't know how to tell the truth.
That's fact.
And Miss Linda said he lied. He didn't offer any help.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
He did lie a lot. And I was like, oh, God, another one. But you know what? Surprisingly, even though he may have lied and have not been truthful and have gotten caught up in so much, people still are voting for him. That just goes to show you, no matter what you have done in your past, people are still going to be rooting for you. You're always going to find, it may not be your family because his Aunt Mary, definitely not for him, but it may not be your family, but it may be other people that don't know you really that will be voting for you. So that says a lot. It was very interesting, the debate. I to be honest, I sat and laughed because I couldn't believe what I was watching. Did you laugh? I was in there laughing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I seen someone on Instagram that said the debate looked like it was 2 old people at the old folks' home fighting over the last Jello.
Oh my God!
It was definitely. It was funny, but it ain't funny because this is what we.
It's definitely not funny
because you think about other countries looking at us.
Definitely funny.
I know other countries is looking at us like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yep.
Like, you gotta be kidding me.
It's probably like this all y'all could have came up with.
This is it. Like,
yeah. It's somehow I know this may sound crazy, but the Republican and the Democrat Party coming together as one and just running the country together. It's like it's just so much diversity. It's just so much division. It's just heartbreaking.
That's what they want. They want that.
Yeah. Fan loyalty is alive and well, right or wrong. That is so true. You could be doing all kinds of things and they still would be voting for you. Those people are ignorant and stupid like Trump. Well, we know who's not rooting for Trump. We know who's not voting for Trump, but the more important thing is to go out and vote. You know, that to me is speaks volume. A lot of people, I know it's one guy, I'm very surprised. The last election, he was telling people don't vote, and he's, I mean, well known, highly educated. And when I heard him say this, I was completely thrown off because of all the people who have shed blood and fought for our right to even be where we are today, and to just encourage young people to not vote was so heartbreaking. I was so surprised. I didn't, expect that to come from someone of his stature to think that way or feel that way, I should say. And feel that way. Okay, so I think we had a very nice discussion. I do want to say happy birthdays to anyone who's a Cancer celebrating their birthday, to my mom and my dad. My dad's birthday was June 28th, and my mom's birthday is coming up on July the 2nd of next week. So want to shout out happy birthday to them and those who are Cancers, because the next is the Leo. So y'all hurry up to our group one, because the Leos is going to be in the house.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do want
to. My grandmother's birthday, my dad's mom.
Oh, her birthday is today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, happy birthday. Absolutely happy birthday.
She would have been 90.
She would have been 90.
Yep.
Miss Olivia.
Yep.
Oh, happy birthday, Miss Olivia. Absolutely. Absolutely. Happy birthday to Cancer. Cancer, especially shout out to my cousin Sandra Session. Happy birthday to her. She celebrates the same birthday as my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Rooting for you, cuz. Love you, love you, love you so much. Before we go, I just want to share something with you all about this monies that's available. It's a grant, $2,750 that's available. Don't have to have a business, some with a business, some without a business. I want to share this with you real quick. People are getting money left and right. You could join without paying any money. Okay, if you can see my screen, it's called galaxyofstars.org, galaxyofstars.org. Okay, and they have several different plans, the Galaxy Basics, where you can go in, see companies and see the companies and what they offer. The Galaxy Plus gives a little bit more, which is $7.99 a month, which is not bad, which is what, 40-50 cents a day. And then you also have the Galaxy Plus, which is $70, $69.99 for the whole entire year, which gives you a whole slew of information regarding entrepreneurship and different grants that are available. But keep this in mind. You can go on, click this sign up button, get your own account. And so that way you can see all the different opportunities that are there for you with these grants. And that's $2,750 that's available right now. And you do not have to have a business in order to get this money. I'm also putting different grants that are also available. We have the New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency. You can go to njhmfa.gov. It offers a variety of mortgages assistance programs tailored to the first-time home buyers, veterans, and urban area home buyers. So you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to get this, but they do have grants. Some is up to $25,000, meaning that you do not have to come out of your pocket with too much money, other than, and I think your credit scores have to be like a 580, which is not much, a 580. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have for you this evening. I hope y'all enjoyed our show, our podcast. Please like, share. And I think we do have a few more comments. Sade.
Brianna said, I'm just so fearful of the state of middle and poor class Americans. I'm fearful for minorities. We are headed down a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to change it from poor to rich, no middle class. But let's keep this in mind for tax purposes. I want you to keep this in mind. The middle class is what carry the country. The middle class carries the country because the middle class, when you work, okay, your money goes to the poor.
Yep.
Okay, remember that. A person could be at home, have 3 children, and made $10,000 for the whole entire year, and they can come out with $15,000, okay, as a refund, versus the middle class who made $80,000 for the year, paid $10,000 in their federal taxes, and may only get maybe $900. Okay, so that other $900, $200, $9,200, guess where it went? Okay, and of course the rich, they're doing everything they can not to
Just
pay
to look poor. They're rich.
to look poor, but keep it in mind, there's a method to the madness of taxes. The more you know about taxes, you could be able to make millions of dollars and pay hardly nothing in taxes. So, but it's all according to what you know. If you don't know anything, guess what? You're going to pay the maximum.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to pay the maximum. So keep that in mind.
Yes.
My mother is today. Yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Jasmine. Thank you so much. Y'all make sure y'all have a good week.
Yes.
Mama said it. Woo. There'll be days like this. Mama said it. Wee. There'll be days like this. Mama said it. Woo. Y'all make sure y'all have a fantastic week. Tiana, thank you so much for joining us again this week. We really enjoyed you. This will not be your last time that we'll have you on this show. Yes. Great week, everyone. Thank you so much.
You,
y'all have a wonderful week. Thank y'all.
All right.